Manufacturing economics. Manufacturing economics lies at the cross-section between your market knowledge and our production knowledge. In this lesson, we will discuss concepts, theories, and issues pertaining to manufacturing economics. It follows from the previous slide that after studying this lesson, you should be able to know the concept of product lifecycle and technology lifecycle in the development of new products. Know what are engineering costs. Measure these costs, fixed costs, variable costs, and break-even point. Know the concepts involved in design of manufacturability, DFM, and value analysis or value engineering. Define break-even analysis. Define ABC costing. Major legal issues include patents, trademarks, copyrights, product liability, and uniform commercial code. A patent is a grant of property rights by the government to an inventor. Trademark includes any word, name, symbol, distinguishing device, or any combination thereof adopted and used by a manufacturer or merchant to identify his goods as distinguishing them from those manufactured or sold by others. A copyright extends protection to authors, composers, artists, and it relates to the form of expression rather than the subject matter. Product liability refers to the responsibility of a manufacturer or vendor of goods to compensate for injury caused by defective merchandise that it has provided for sale. Uniform commercial code consists of uniform acts coordinating the sale of goods and other commercial transactions. Environment Protection Act has been enacted to provide for the protection and improvement of environment and for matters connected therewith. Whereas the decisions were taken at the United Nations Conference on the Human Environment held at Stockholm in June 1972, in which India participated to take appropriate steps for the protection and improvement of human environment. And whereas it is considered necessary further to implement the decisions aforesaid insofar as they relate to the protection and improvement of environment and the prevention of hazards to human beings, other living creatures, plants, and property. The product life cycle or PLC model is a simple representation of the cumulative impact of changes in the business environment on the life of manufactured product. It is an important management tool to understand the product and its finite lifespan and develop the understanding of the situation so that strategies for survival and growth can be effectively advanced. The technology life cycle TLC describes the commercial gain of a product through the expense of research and development phase and the financial return during its vital life. The technology life cycle is concerned with the time and cost of developing the technology, the timeline of recovering cost, and modes of making the technology yield a profit proportionate to the costs and risks involved. The TLC may further be protected during its cycle with patents and trademarks, seeking to lengthen the cycle and to maximize the profit from it. The figures on the screen give a detailed illustration of PLC and TLC. There are some simple tools that are often used to evaluate projects and measure the return of the different options. These are the opportunity costs, payback period analysis, discounted cash flow, and the cost-benefit analysis. The break-even point for a product is the point where total revenue received equals the total costs associated with the sale of the product. A break-even point is typically calculated in order for businesses to determine if it would be profitable to sell a proposed product as opposed to attempting to modify an existing product instead so it can be made lucrative. There are many other variations in how material, labor, and overhead costs are computed and combined. Activity-based costing (ABC) is an accounting technique that allows an organization to determine the actual cost associated with each product and service produced by the organization without regard to the organizational structure. It is developed to provide more accurate ways of assigning the costs of indirect and support resources to activities, business processes, products, services, and customers. ABC systems recognize that many organizational resources are required not for physical production of units of product, but to provide a broad array of support activities that enable a variety of products and services to be produced for a diverse group of customers. The goal of ABC is not to allocate common costs to products. The goal is to measure and then price out all the resources used for activities that support the production and delivery of products and services to customers. Now let us check if we have understood the various concepts discussed in this lesson clearly. Products are only tangible, right or wrong? Wrong. They're both tangible and intangible. Technology life cycle model shows the cumulative impact of changes in the business environment on the life of a manufactured product. Right or wrong? Wrong. It's the product life cycle model. Product life cycle is a representation of the cumulative impact of changes in market growth and technology. Right or wrong? Wrong. It's technology life cycle. Before we end, let us briefly revise what we have studied till so far. Studies indicate that nearly 2 out of 3 new products fail after launch. Nonetheless, companies in many sectors are under continual pressure to speed up the pace of product development, even to adapt products that are still in the pipeline to the demands of a constantly changing marketplace. Product development is facing a fundamental challenge. Most companies are under pressure to bring new products to market more and more quickly, and companies in many sectors must work harder to ensure that they address the needs of ever narrower customer segments. Industries are setting ambitious targets for new products, which are often unrealistic because companies need management skills and organizational structure necessary for success. These pressures are particularly acute in fast clock speed industries, such as those for high-tech, medical, and consumer goods, and in competitive markets for complex products that require large investments and long development times, such as automobiles and airplanes. Let us take a country-specific and industry view. Let us consider India. India is an emerging country with huge potential. The domestic economy is now growing at around 7% per annum, and India's growing importance in global terms is being reinforced by rapidly rising exports. India's low-cost but highly skilled manufacturing base means that the country is also taking center stage as a favored location for global outsourcing. The automotive industry is at the center of India's new global dynamic. The domestic market is expanding rapidly as incomes are rising and consumer credit is becoming more widely available.